yeah, 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 yeah. Step into the den where the stories ignite. Legends in the making, all the ones in the light. They walk through the fire, they've danced with the fight. Barely holding back, but their words take flight. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no fluff, every word is clean. From the top of the game to the ones unseen. Barely legends where the dream gets me. Yeah, we got tales from the rise and the climb so steep. Bars of wisdom hidden in the secrets they keep. Mic in the hand, truth rolls so deep. Barely legends waking giants from sleep. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no fluff, every word is clean. From the top of the game to the ones unseen. Barely legends where the dream gets me. Barely scratching the surface, but
Well, we'll just jump right in. I would love to hear, like, honestly, just your, just kind of, I always love to start just with your opening story of like sports, kind of your background, where you started. I know you were from the actually Quad City area, um, and then how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I always grew up playing various sports, but I always kind of knew that basketball was my favorite. Um, I mean, I played baseball, lacrosse, football. I played pretty much anything under the sun, but basketball was the one I enjoyed the most, and what I specialized in at Pleasant Valley High School. That's when I narrowed it down, was after freshman year, and stuck with it ever since. We had some real solid teams at PV. Made it to state a couple times, never quite won. I think it was my junior year we lost to North Scott actually, so it was like the hometown rivalry at state, which was a really cool game to be a part of. But after that, I went to a Division 1 or Division 2 school, Northern Michigan University, and got a full ride scholarship. And had a couple years there, and then ended up transferring back home to Monmouth College. Just wanted to be closer to home and closer to family after a couple tough years away, and finished undergrad there. Uh, and then COVID all happened, where you could have a grad transfer without having to sit. So I ended up at Western Illinois after that, getting into my graduate school for free and getting to play Division 1 finally, which was very
Mhm.
cool. And spent 2 years there because of the COVID year. The one didn't count because it was in front of no fans and fake crowd noise and everything like that. So the eligibility didn't work. So I got to stay one more year and play there again, and stuck it out and finally got to start my professional basketball career from there.
Yeah, you said you kind of landed freshman year, kind of moving towards basketball. I gotta imagine height kind of played into that a little
Yeah,
bit.
100%.
Made it a little
And I
easier.
Yep, and I played quarterback at Pleasant Valley when I was a freshman, and they run the triple option, so that's more of a running back quarterback's game,
Yeah,
not a tall sit back and pass quarterback. So that helped decide a little bit too, I think.
looking like Brock Osweiler in high school football back there. Just
Hey, exactly.
yeah.
When you're taller than most of the linemen, that's usually not a good a good look.
Well, it's better than the opposite of not even be able to see over him, I guess.
Exactly, exactly. It is a plus, but when you throw the ball 5 times a game and then you don't get to use
Yeah,
it much.
true. So, how so how does it end up to where you're in overseas? I forget. I knew I looked it up. I forget where you're at exactly, and you might have
Oh,
just
I'm
told me
in
too.
Slovakia right now.
Slovakia. How do you end up in that position? So I know that there's like you probably had a little bit of a goal to play here for a little bit. And I know that the kind of basketball web from here can kind of branch in many different directions. So how does one end up overseas, as opposed to some of the smaller leagues here?
Yeah, I mean, it all comes with connections and having an agent that has good connections in good leagues. I mean, there's a million agents out there, and they all claim to be the best as well,
Yeah.
which is tough. So it's really hard to navigate that area. I've been lucky enough to have a job every single year, so I can't complain too much. I played in Australia, Austria for the last 2 years, and then this is my first year in Slovakia. So really just riding off those connections, but at the same time you have to perform on the court. So you either can play yourself into better leagues or play yourself out of leagues, you
Yeah.
know. So making sure you're having good seasons wherever you go, so you can consistently try to climb that ladder.
And the Euro ball stuff has actually grown in the last few years, especially, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially with the rise of the Euro League, just getting more and more internationally recognized. Obviously, players like Giannis and Jokic bring a lot of light.
Right.
Luka Doncic, especially too, a lot of light to it. And even locally, I mean, just being in the Quad Cities, there's so many guys who have played overseas. Like Chasson Randall is one of the biggest ones. He played over for some of the biggest clubs in Europe at that EuroLeague level. Ethan Happ is another one. I mean, so even just in our small area,
Mhm.
the reach of European basketball is spread. You know.
Yeah. Did you is it so I'm not the biggest basketball fan. Like I watch and I enjoy it,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna like deep dive. I can't shoot worth a crap, so it's not really. It's one of those things of like I'm not good at it, so I'm not like the most interested in it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but how does the Euro game compare to the US style? I know there is some differences. I know overall it's the same game, but
Hmm.
how does it compare? And then was there any part of you that had some struggles kind of moving into that and transitioning into that style?
Yeah, I would say physicality is one of the biggest things. There's just some nuance to how the refs call the game compared to at home. So some things where you might be guarding the ball might be a little bit softer, but you might be able to get away with some more elbows and things down in the post off the ball, you know? So it's more physical, but it's just in specific situations, I guess. So like I said, maybe a little more nuance. And I've always been someone who loved the weight room and things like that. So that wasn't necessarily a thing I struggled with.
Right.
With me, it's always just keeping up like athletically, because you're always going to come up against guys who can jump higher than you, who
Mhm.
are taller and longer, and can get away with things just being more athletically gifted. So just figuring out how I can use my strength and things I can control to help kind of counter the athleticism that some of these players have, I guess, was one of the things I had to figure out.
Yeah. And then do you have a um I guess do you lean on a lot of people over there to I mean like going you said you've been to what? You've been three places now overseas?
Yeah.
Do you lean a lot on kind of teammates and stuff kind of I gotta imagine there is a lot of American players, but there's also
Hmm.
a language barrier between a lot of players as well that are coming. It's not just
Hmm.
Americans going to these different teams. It's also, you know, you got different languages joining in on every team. Whereas in the
Yeah.
U.S., you're not. I mean, there's a couple guys that might speak different languages, but you're more than likely they're going to be speaking English by the time they're playing for the league. So how has that
Hmm.
worked for you? And have you had to lean on a lot of different either veterans that speak English or just different guys that are have dual language. I know there's a word for it. I'm blanking on the
Yeah.
word,
No,
but
I know what you're saying.
have you have to balance on that a lot? How does that work?
Yeah, on our team currently, we have a handful of Slavic guys, obviously. We've got a couple Americans. We have a guy from Serbia, a guy from South Sudan who has an Australian passport, and I'm trying to think who else. I know I'm missing someone else, but I mean, it's people from all over the world,
Right.
all different languages. But the beauty of it is, basketball is like this language of basketball is English. So, I mean, everyone speaks English to a certain extent. Not
Hmm.
everyone's is perfect. And it's really just I mean, like if you can speak the language of basketball, I mean, I think you can play internationally easy enough. Like if you understand the game well, even if you're not the same level of English knowledge, you can make it work.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue on a team I've been on where communication has been a factor negatively. You might not get along with guys as well in the locker room just because it's hard to communicate about things off the court. But you can all get the same job done on the floor, which is cool.
Yeah. What's some of the coolest things you've got out of doing this? Like traveling, I mean, around the world now. What are some of the coolest things you've been a part of, places you've eaten, stuff like that? I mean, now
Yeah.
coming from the Quad Cities, I know that we've got a lot of great restaurants here, don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But
100%.
getting out of Iowa and Illinois, I'm sure has broadened the taste buds quite a bit and it opened you to a lot more stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Australia, the food was amazing. And I would say it's similar. to America is they embrace cuisines from all over. And
Hmm.
then again, I was in Melbourne in a big city. So in a big city, they're bound to have foods
Right.
from all over the world just because it's a more diverse area. But just they have a big Asian influence as well, being only maybe a 6 or 7 hour flight from Japan. So a lot of getting to try a lot more authentic versions of the Asian foods was really good. Living in Austria, I was about 10 or 15 minutes from Vienna, so another big city, known for, and Austria has their own like distinguished cuisine as well. And it's so cool getting to try some of these dishes from their origin, you know.
Yeah.
I have a quite a German heritage, and I think there's a decent amount in the Quad Cities too.
Yeah.
Um, and just having some of the foods that we might have taken and be a little different, but have the original version is very cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And how often do you get to come back home?
So usually it works. I'm out here like this year. I got here in what was it? It was August,
Mhm.
and then the season will end around May. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll be home maybe a couple months over the summer.
Okay, cool. Is the Euro League basketball season around the same uh like when the NBA is playing, so to say?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
It mirrors it pretty well.
Yeah.
They'll have us coming out here quite a bit earlier to condition and things like that. But I mean, that's the same in the NBA. They have to have
Right.
training camp and things. So yeah, it does mirror it pretty well. It My first year, it was kind of sad getting out here, and college basketball still hadn't started for like 2 or 3 months. And I'm like, wow, like I still had a whole half a semester of school before we even started basketball back
Right.
in the States, and now I've been playing for 3 months already. You know,
Yeah.
so it gets to be a long season. It's a grind for sure, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I love playing basketball for a living. So
Yeah. What is some of the perks you've gotten, like, not perks, I guess. What are some of the ways you've grown playing in the Euro League, kind of learning from some different perspectives? Like we've talked about, there is obviously it's a whole different um, type of play style with the more physicality and stuff. What is some things you picked up from other players? Who's kind of helped you in that way? Different coaches, maybe even.
yeah, I've been lucky enough to play for a couple coaches that have let me play very free and explore my game as well, which has been cool. And I think that's kind of the way the newer style of coaching is going, less putting you in a mold of an offense and more taking the abilities that the team has and just letting them exercise them, you
Right.
know? Um, so just having that freedom to learn where my strengths are and where my limitations are has been really great. And then also, like we were saying, playing with people from all over the world with different playing styles and just taking bits and pieces from them is really enriching as well.
Yeah. Do you have some favorite players that your teammates that you've played with so far?
Oh, I mean, for sure. I'm trying to think. One was Michael Weathers in Austria. He's now playing for Heidelberg in Germany. So he's made some big leaps from the Austrian league to the top German league. So just being on the same team as guys like that who can make a jump in competition 4, 5, 6 levels, you know, is really
Yeah.
impressive. He was one of the more athletic guys I played with. And then this year, a guy from New York, Ricky McGill, who played at Iona actually in the States. But he's just another one who can just play with anyone out there. And I think that's really cool to see. And it gives me confidence to do the same.
Yeah. What are some of your 'cause you were born in '98, right? That's what I saw?
Yep.
Okay, so we're same generation basically. Uh, what are some players of throughout your childhood that have kind of shaped the way you play? And then also who you kind of look at either A overseas or B in the NBA that you're kind of molding your game around now?
Yeah. I mean, I always have a hard time drawing NBA comparisons. I never find someone that quite fits how I play. But
Hmm.
I mean, growing up, I loved like Vince Carter and Dwight Howard. I love seeing people dunk.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not the most athletically gifted, I mean, I can still dunk every once in a while for sure, but I'm not anywhere on the same planet as any of those guys. But that was just some of the most impressive things to me were some of those players that could just fly like that. And now that I'm playing, some of the guys that I watch more, I like watching guys who can shoot the ball and stretch the floor because that's kind of my main um, threat, I guess, when
Mhm.
I'm on there. And then just guys who can help facilitate on all facets of the floor on offense and defense. I love Luca's offensive game just because he is so calculated and methodical and
Mhm.
can make plays from all three levels. But I definitely don't get any defensive tips from him. But like I said, I just like taking bits and pieces from a whole bunch of players. I just
Yeah,
enjoy the game.
yeah. Who's so I have to ask, who's your goat then? I mean, I know there's quite a bit of a controversy of like which one are you leaning towards? Obviously,
Hmm.
I assume you know the two. So
Yep,
who do you
yep.
lean towards out of it?
As a Bulls fan, I,
Okay.
I I have to say Michael Jordan always. I always do. I mean, I can't. I mean, LeBron is amazing. The way he's carried his career and he's still playing the way he is at his age is
Yeah.
no one's ever seen that before. Which is so you have to give him his flowers as well. But just as a Bulls fan, I can't turn on Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah. There's there's a couple guys I know that like the one thing I hate is like in a sports argument when the other side won't even hear you out, and they're like
Hmm.
that for LeBron, and it's like the most annoying thing in the world. It's like no, like
Yep.
you have to at least hear both sides. You can't just
Yeah.
no, LeBron's the goat, and I don't want to hear your side about it. Like that is the most
Yep.
frustrating thing. Uh,
Yep.
when you
The
come
way.
back
Yep.
home, what are what's a must do when you get back home?
I feel like it's the must do is always getting food back home. I love, I mean, especially in the Quad Cities. Arthur's, their pasta salad is
Yep.
always one of the biggest ones I gotta go get. I really enjoyed that Al's Burger spot over this last summer too. Finally getting to try that. That
Yeah.
just opened. I can't wait to try the breakfast one. That I follow all the Quad Cities Facebook food pages and stuff, and
Just
I just
making a
get
list
jealous the
for
whole
when you get
time.
home.
Yep. So just probably just mainly the food is what I'm excited. Obviously to hang out with family and friends, that's goes without saying. But the thing I miss most about the Quad Cities specifically is that.
Are you so I'm not originally from the Quad Cities. I'm originally from, I mean, Cedar Rapids, so I'm not like that far.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
wife's from the Quad City area, so we moved back this way. Um, are you the stereotypical Whitey's, Happy Joe's, QC style pizza, or are you you kind of go out of that lane a little bit? Because I gotta say like Whitey's is, like, not bad by any means, I'm just not, like
Mhm.
I actually just like soft serve is more the thing. It's not like that I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like
yeah.
Whitey's. But then, like, I I really can't get with the Quad City style pizza. Like,
Oh, really? What's your
obviously,
kind
like,
of pizza then?
I will eat
What's
it.
your favorite pizza?
Actually, I love Lopez. Like, Lopez is great, but I
Ah,
love New York
Lopez is
style.
good.
I just love a pepperoni slice like New York style. But, um,
Mhm.
I just I can't get 1, the strips annoy me. Like, why are we that makes pizza super difficult to eat.
Yep.
Why are we doing
Yep.
that? And, just yeah, I've just never been a fan. So I was just curious, are you getting Happy Joe's or Quad City whatever your Quad City style selection is, and then Whitey's, is that kind of are you the stereotypical Quad Cityan or
I think I mean I always loved Happy Joe's growing up, and I think I like Whitey's for the same reason is it's kind of nostalgic.
yeah.
Is it's where like the places you go with your parents or your grandparents for like birthdays or whatever. Happy
Mhm.
Joe's did the siren and things like that. So I think I enjoy them for the nostalgic reasons. I'm not even a big ice cream person, but if I'm gonna go, I might as well go to Whitey's just
Yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah.
But pizza, I really love smash pizza actually, with their kind of not deep dish, but they're like focaccia style
Yeah. We keep
dough, I
meaning to
guess.
try that one. Is it lived up to it?
I think it's so good. How it's
Yeah.
kind of soft, but then crunchy on the outside and the bottom,
Yeah.
from kind of that gets that crisp to it. I That's been my favorite in the Quad Cities since it
Yeah.
came out.
So we keep me and my wife keep talking about how we need to get over there, and then like we've got 2 little kids, so it's I mean we're just out.
I get
It's
it.
just impossible to do
It's good
anything we
though.
want anyways. Like they'll eat cheese pizza from Pizza Hut and be perfectly happy. So
Yep.
and getting the date nights isn't always the easiest thing. So it's always tough to balance. But now that I've heard, because I haven't heard like somebody actually tell me like, yeah, go try smash pizza. So now that I've
It's
actually
just
heard it, I'll be
yeah.
more.
There's nothing like it in the Quad Cities, I don't think. And I think the way they do it really well. So I think it's something fun that's new, but it's like it's still pizza at the end of the day. It's
Yeah.
a safe bet that you're not
Yeah.
gonna hate it. You
Yeah.
know,
At the
it's
end of the day, I'm not like if you tell me, "Hey, this is pizza," I'm not gonna be like, "No, I'm not gonna eat that." Like
exactly,
it's it is
exactly.
what it is. It's not gonna be my favorite pizza, but it's going to be pizza. Uh
Uh-huh. No, I enjoy it. It's good. I would definitely recommend it.
what is what is something that you found hard uh translating into like personal life coming from I know there's like language obviously, but like personal
Mhm.
life going moving to these areas, being from the Quad Cities and moving into some of these places overseas.
Yeah, definitely. Just learning how people work, communicate, and operate, and not even the language communication, just the mannerisms and things like
Mhm.
that. Just the cultural differences between the different countries. And granted, being in Europe, it's not like wildly different, especially with social media. People in the locker room know the same memes and the same TikToks
Yeah.
and different things. You know, like it's at the same time as how big the world is, it's crazy how small it is.
Mhm.
Like there's just the most random things. You'll be like, wow, this guy from Finland knows the same like music video that I watched growing up or something like that. So with the internet, I feel like it's brought the world so much closer together. And with that, I think it's made it a lot easier to assimilate. So mainly the biggest, the most difficult thing is just being out here by yourself for 10 months
Yeah.
and figuring out obviously you have to be comfortable with being alone for extended
Yeah.
periods of time, but it's what's been great is I've been able to have family come visit me and things and explore from a couple weeks at a time. So it's not the entire time, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a challenge in itself.
Uh going back to your freshman year of high school where you're like, this is what I like, basketball's it, like I'm gonna do this. Um what is this what Will Carius would have thought as a freshman high school basketball player that he'd be doing? I mean, were you a guy that wanted to travel the world in the first place? Was this your aspirations? Was it like, hey, I know I'm gonna make it in professional basketball. I'm gonna be doing this. What would freshman Will Carius say?
As probably as an overly confident, cocky high schooler, I would have told you, yeah, I want to go play professional basketball. I didn't really care. I never really cared where it would be. I just always knew I wanted to take basketball further than college.
Mhm.
Um, and I couldn't say that I ever would have had a urge to leave the country and explore if it wasn't for basketball. So that was just kind of a plus.
Yeah,
If I didn't start playing professionally, I would definitely still be in the United States, and I wouldn't be taking or experiencing some of these trips and things that I am now with basketball. So I'm definitely grateful that I stuck with it, and I got more out of it than I could have wished for. You know, with
yeah.
the goals that I had.
When you're not playing a game or practicing, what is Will Carius doing?
Resting or sleeping. I mean, we have practice days where we'll have 2.5 hours of lifting and shooting in the morning, then 2.5 hours of film and practice in the afternoon. So in between, then you're just refueling and trying to get as much rest as you can. But on the occasional off day, it is nice, especially like when I was places like in Austria, having Vienna right there, I would go to a new restaurant every Monday or something
Mhm.
because that was our off day. So it was nice to have kind of a ritual to get yourself out of the house and go do some different things. This year in a smaller town, I've got to be a little more creative with what I do because it's not comparable to being next to Vienna.
Yeah,
So I like to cook different things and take the time to try new recipes and things like that. So like I said, you got to get a little more creative, but that all just comes apart with living by yourself and being comfortable with doing things on your own.
yeah. Well, I am super appreciative of you being on. Would love to talk to you again in the future, and hopefully get my co-host on too. But I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
like I said, we really appreciate you being on. We always try and keep these to 20ish minutes, so we're not taking everybody's time. But like I said, I appreciate you being on. Love to talk to you in the future, and we're rooting for you, man.
Yeah, thank you. No, thanks for reaching out. I love that you guys are out of the Quad Cities, and then I saw you did one with Joe Crawl too. I was
Yeah.
in at Monmouth when he was there,
Oh,
so I was like,
really?
if Joe Crawl signs off on doing an interview with you guys, it must
Yeah.
be good.
It's
So
like
he's a
super.
good guy.
Yeah, he's a super nice dude. I mean, that's the one thing we've had luck with is you get to the verbiage of like Iowa nice or Midwest nice and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it really is like so far everybody we've gotten to talk to, like we've gotten some cool opportunities where um we get to go places and kind of see everybody and like people are just the nicest and it's the coolest thing in the world where we've gotten all the steamwheelers are super nice guys, the storm guys are super nice and helps that a lot of them are Canadians, so that also gives
Yeah,
them some of the
yeah.
nice stuff.
That's awesome. No,
Yeah.
no, that's great to hear. I mean, I love the Quad Cities, and I love that it's like keeping that kind of close to home feel. That's why I go home there every summer. I mean, I
Yeah.
could really live wherever over the summer, 'cause since it's only a couple months, but I love coming home to the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
So.
I guess one last quick question too is like what's the future goal?
Yeah, definitely just continuing to see how far I can take basketball and making the most of it. One of the biggest things my parents told me as a kid was never make sure you use basketball, never let it use you.
Mhm.
So not getting too upset over a bad game or letting it ruin your day. Like make sure that you let basketball take you places, not the other way around. So
Yeah.
just seeing where it takes me.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I appreciate you being on. We'll have you on again in the future and have some more talks and just yeah, just keep pushing and hopefully maybe when you're in town too, we can when you're back off the season we can get you in studio too.
That would be awesome. I'll be
Yeah.
in touch for sure. That'd be
Awesome.
great.
Sounds great. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
You too.